Here's more wrestling news for October 1st, 2025. Your headlines for this afternoon include fans shocked by what went down between Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso after Raw. Did WWE quietly fire Tony D'Angelo? WWE quietly shifts strategy for NXT call-ups amid internal changes. New twist emerges in Jazmyn Nyx's WWE exit. Bigger deal was on the table. Booker T agrees WWE's NXT pay isn't enough after Jazmyn Nyx exit. Stephanie McMahon's White House meeting with Donald Trump. WWE star blames Jade Cargill's inexperience for bloody injury on SmackDown. Push for Randy Orton to turn heel again in WWE, and more. Tension inside the bloodline may be reaching a breaking point, and Jimmy Uso's latest move has fans buzzing. Following Roman Reigns' return on Raw, where the tribal chief gave all his attention to Jey Uso and snubbed Jimmy, he's now taken to Instagram with a cryptic hint about the future. In two back-to-back stories, Jimmy posted separate shots of himself and Jey, which, when viewed together, gave the impression that the brothers might soon be pitted against each other. The timing couldn't be more telling. On Raw, while Jey was embraced and hyped up, Jimmy was left standing at a distance, clearly displeased with the situation. That cold shoulder is now translated into social media activity that fans believe is foreshadowing another Uso versus Uso showdown. So if WWE really heads down this road, would you want to see Jimmy versus Jey again, or have their battles already run their course? And it doesn't end there. Roman Reigns' return revealed even more beneath the surface. On live television, he completely ignored Jimmy, focusing entirely on Jey. But once the cameras stopped rolling, fan shot footage showed Jimmy extending his hand. Roman accepted reluctantly, but his body language said it all. He wanted nothing to do with Jimmy and would have ignored him entirely if not for the moment. Could this be Roman subtly grooming Jey Uso as the next tribal chief while leaving Jimmy behind? Tony D'Angelo's absence from WWE NXT has become one of the more puzzling storylines of the year. The Don of NXT hasn't been seen on television since July, leaving fans to question whether he's preparing for a big return or if something more serious is happening behind the scenes. His last appearance came on the July 29th episode of NXT in a pre-taped segment where he dramatically retired his Don persona, only to be confronted by a shadowy figure whose identity was never revealed to the audience. The cryptic tease suggested a new chapter was on the horizon, but nothing's materialized since. In mid-August, PW Insider reported that WWE was planning a main roster call-up for Tony D, but those plans appear to have stalled. Since then, there's been radio silence. No injury reports, no storyline updates, and no official word from WWE. For someone who had been a key part of NXT programming, the sudden disappearance is unusual. Some dirt sheets have even speculated that Tony D'Angelo was quietly released by WWE, but at this time, nothing has been confirmed. Even Brian Alvarez admitted he has no concrete information, saying he's just as much in the dark as everyone else. With no updates from WWE and no confirmation from credible insiders, fans are left guessing. Is Tony D'Angelo still waiting on a main roster debut, or has WWE already closed the book on the Don? Until something official surfaces, the mystery continues. Do you think Tony D is being saved for a surprise return, or could this silence really mean the end of the Don in WWE? Share your take in the comments below. WWE's approach to NXT call-ups has undergone a quiet but significant change, and it's not the same old process fans had grown used to during the Vince McMahon era. In the past, main roster promotions often blindsided NXT creative teams, with talent suddenly pulled from Tuesday nights and thrown onto Raw or SmackDown without warning. That method has now been scrapped in favor of something far more strategic, flexible, and, importantly, secretive. According to Fightful Select, WWE has completely revamped how it handles call-ups over the last year. The new process keeps things under wraps until the very last moment, sometimes even from internal staff, and no longer requires talent to immediately disappear from NXT programming. One source explained, "The call-ups themselves have been kept way closer to the vest and are less strict as a talent getting off of NXT TV just to go to the main roster. The standard procedure has been that a talent gets called up, and because of the easier main roster schedule these days, they can usually still finish out on NXT TV. This updated system benefits both sides. It allows NXT storylines to reach proper conclusions instead of being derailed by sudden departures, while also giving Raw and SmackDown fresh talent without disrupting the developmental brand. The result is smoother transitions and fewer creative gaps on Tuesday nights. There's also a deeper philosophy guiding this shift. A source from the WWE Performance Center revealed that not every call-up is designed for an immediate push. Some names are intentionally kept in NXT for extended runs, helping to elevate younger stars while also sharpening their own presence. It was stated by that source that there have been some brought in that didn't have immediate main roster plans, and a full-on NXT run was the intent from the company. WWE's evolving call-up strategy makes it clear that NXT is no longer just a stepping stone, it's becoming a more integrated piece of the company's overall structure with developmental, main roster, and crossover value all tied together. What do you think of WWE's new call-up strategy? Do you like the idea of NXT stars staying active while transitioning to the main roster, or should call-ups remain clean breaks like before? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. Jazmyn Nyx's WWE exit has taken another twist. The former Fatal Influence member had already gone public about turning down a $75,000 per year deal, but new information reveals WWE actually upped the offer before she walked away. According to Brian Alvarez, WWE presented Nyx with a higher figure just before her decision. I'm told Jazmyn's original deal was $75,000, and her new offer, which she turned down, was approximately $98,000. Since her departure, Nyx has been vocal on social media about her WWE experience, though fans are still waiting for her full response to the reported $98,000 offer. In the meantime, WWE Hall of Famer Booker T is weighing in, and this time, he's backing Nyx's side of the debate. On his Hall of Fame podcast, Booker T pointed directly to Nyx's injury history as a factor WWE may have considered, but also acknowledged how difficult it is for talent to build value when constantly sidelined. You have to look at yourself. How much time has Jazmyn been on television? If I'm not mistaken, I think she said she had 4 knee surgeries and a broken nose. That's a lot of time not in the gym training to figure this thing out. Booker made it clear he wasn't questioning her drive, but stressed the reality of the business. I'm not saying she wasn't a quick learner or anything like that, but injury is your worst enemy in this business. Time off is your worst enemy. When it came to the reported $98,000 offer, Booker didn't dispute the claim, but put in blunt terms, $75,000 these days is not a lot of money to a lot of people. Do you agree with Booker T's comments, and do you think WWE needs to rethink its pay scale for developmental stars, or was Jazmyn Nyx expecting too much too soon? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon were front and center at the White House on Tuesday as President Donald Trump signed a series of new executive orders, including one focused on using artificial intelligence to advance childhood cancer treatment. Stephanie didn't just stand by for the ceremony, she took the podium and delivered an emotional speech that connected WWE's history of pediatric cancer support with this new national initiative. She spoke about the company's bond with Connor McCulloch, the young WWE fan whose story inspired the creation of Connor's Cure in 2014. Kids shouldn't even know what cancer is, let alone have to face it. And this incredible team believes that too. This executive order makes kids with cancer the first focus of AI innovation across healthcare in America. Triple H, who currently serves as vice chair of the President's Council on Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition, stood beside her, continuing to highlight the McMahon family's growing ties with the Trump administration during his second term. Also in attendance was Linda McMahon, now serving as Secretary of Education. She publicly praised her daughter's dedication, noting that Stephanie's efforts have spanned more than a decade. Stephanie is doing real incredible work. She's been committed to this for over a decade, and it's making a real difference. The moment underscored WWE's long-standing philanthropic push, with Connor's Cure remaining at the heart of its pediatric cancer initiatives worldwide. Now, it's no secret that Randy Orton is one of WWE's most decorated superstars, but many believe the company has been holding him back in recent years. One legend who agrees with that sentiment is Mark Henry, and he thinks the solution is simple: turn the Viper heel again. Speaking on Inside the Ring, Henry didn't hold back his opinion on Orton's current direction. He argued that the best version of Orton isn't as a babyface champion, but as the ruthless, unpredictable apex predator fans have feared for decades. Some people think he's being underused right now, and I'm one of those people. But I wouldn't want Randy to be champion as good guy Randy. I want Randy in the role that's tailor-made for him. Coming in, punting people again, RKOing people's grandmothers and kids, stomping everyone. Let Randy be Randy. Henry emphasized that Orton is a natural heel, and giving him the freedom to unleash that darker side would remind everyone why he's one of the greatest villains in wrestling history. This perspective comes as WWE itself has teased the idea of an Orton heel turn. After his loss to Cody Rhodes at Night of Champions earlier this year, subtle seeds were planted for a possible betrayal down the line. And most recently, fans picked up on another sign when Orton was shown holding the WWE Championship on SmackDown, giving the impression that his allegiances to Rhodes could change at any moment. With speculation continuing to grow, it may only be a matter of time before WWE pulls the trigger and allows Orton to fully embrace the dangerous heel role that made him a cornerstone of the company. Do you want to see Randy Orton turn heel in WWE again, or should he continue his run as a babyface ally to Cody Rhodes? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Jade Cargill's scary injury on the September 26th episode of WWE SmackDown continues to spark debate, but not everyone is putting the blame on Nia Jax. The incident unfolded when Jax sent Cargill crashing into the steel steps, leaving her busted open and bleeding heavily. Fans immediately pointed the finger at Jax, who has long been criticized for being reckless in the ring. However, Booker T sees things differently. Speaking on his Hall of Fame podcast, the WWE legend argued that the injury wasn't necessarily Jax's fault. Booker pointed out that in over 2 decades of wrestling, he never once hit his face on the steel steps. He explained that while being shoved into the steps is always a possibility, the key lies in protecting yourself at all times. Booker did acknowledge he doesn't know what communication, if any, took place between Cargill and Jax during the spot. Still, he stood by his belief that Jade could have done a better job defending herself in that moment. As for Cargill, she's since reassured fans that she's fine despite the gruesome gash, even showing off the cut on social media. Booker used the moment to remind everyone that safety in wrestling is a shared responsibility, both protecting your opponent and yourself. Whether you agree with Booker's assessment or not, one thing is certain: fans don't want to see injuries like this again. Do you think Jade Cargill should have done more to protect herself, or does Nia Jax deserve the criticism for this botched moment? Share your thoughts in the comments below. For all of our subscribers, don't miss the 9 a.m. Eastern video we dropped earlier today.